Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're going to be working down in the side garden doing some cleanup, and in the vegetable garden expanding the pumpkin patch. Pup, you ready to get some work done? Now we do have what appears to be a beautiful day here today, but unfortunately the high is only in the low 30s and the wind is howling. Oh, the pump. That's the Secret Falls number 11. And that pump is actually coming on as the backup to the geyser pump. So for some reason that switch didn't go off. And that's not ideal, but that's why we have a backup. Pup. Now I do still need to plant these columbine over in the island as well. I should have done that already. However, I did get the tarp cleaned up over here in the trench backfield. I got the wire spliced the other day and a receptacle hooked up on the back of that hydrant over there. I still need to get a box for it, but it has power. Pup, so now we actually have power closer to the greenhouse and work to do in the side garden. But in the greenhouse right now, I don't have it open because that wind is blowing and the temperature's just gonna drop every time the wind blows by. But it's pretty nice in here actually. It's probably mid 60s, maybe even 70 degrees. I don't have a thermometer in here right now, but I do have the space heater running. And with the space heater running and the sun shining in here, we're warming up pretty good. We did actually get some more pepper seeds to pop up, which is awesome. Let me show you this. We have some jalapenos. Actually, all the jalapeno peppers popped up, so I'll take this cover off of there. And let's check the other ones. We have all the sweet bananas popping up and a cayenne pepper as well. Happy birthday, everybody. Now, I did sow some more seeds in here. I actually sowed some calendula, so I'll go ahead and put these covers like this. Cover up this calendula so it can still have nice humidity while it's germinating, and then everything else can get some sun. We have the bell peppers that came up first, and now all the new seeds that I re-sowed over here for the other peppers are all coming up. The jalapeno, the sweet banana, and the cayenne. All the tomatoes are doing good over here. We have 3 Brussels sprouts. I actually had 2 come up in this tray, and I moved 1 over to the other side. Little transplant. And then I re-sowed some ground cherries, but we do have 2 that finally popped up. Happy birthday, little ones. Ooh, a 3rd one popped up. So some of these seeds just took a while to germinate, but I did actually re-sow some more, so we'll see what happens. They are tiny seeds, the ground cherries, so I actually have vermiculite over those so I don't put too much soil over top. I think that might have been something that was holding them down. So I'm going to leave the humidity dome on there for now. But the tomatoes are looking good. They're getting close to a transplant size. And the cabbage is looking amazing. This is actually ready to go out. I just want to wait one more night before we put these out because we're supposed to be going down into the mid-20s tonight. And that's just not a really good starting point. But looking at the forecast, it looks like we have one more cold night. And then we're going to be going back into the mid-30s at night and the mid-50s during the day. Perfect springtime temperatures. So after tonight, we can actually plant the cabbage down in the vegetable garden in the J bed. It's almost ready for it. We just have to put a nice top layer of soil and then we can plant the cabbage in. And I actually did break apart a bulb of garlic and I planted that down in there in the middle of the onions. It is really late to try and plant garlic this year, but I figured I had the extra bulb and why not try and put it in. So I got that watered in yesterday and I'll keep you posted if that comes up. Now I'm thinking putting Echo in charge of watering the sky pencil holly probably wasn't the best idea. Pup. Pretty pup. But I do want to get some work down here in the side garden done. I have some cleanup I need to do, and then we will be bringing some fresh mulch in here once that mulch shows up for the pergola garden as well. We already have some spring blooms coming up in here and some other perennials waking up from the winter slump. So I want to get some of the debris raked out of here, some of these old perennials cut back so the new stuff has room to come up through, and just give a general cleanup to the side garden over here. But for the pollinators, we do have some spring blooms coming up, some pretty hyacinths, white and pink. Gorgeous. They actually have a nice tinge of yellow, and not in a bad way. Behind that you can see the spiderwort already coming up, that dark purple grass. There should be another clump over here if it survived. I don't see it coming up yet, but we do have crocosmia coming up, so I want to get some of these old stalks raked out of here. I left on just for mulch over winter. We got to get this big hibiscus all cut back. And over here on the triangle area, we also have a butterfly bush we need to prune back, and unfortunately this corkscrew willow did not survive. I put this in here and it survived for about 2 years and then unexpectedly died. I also lost my blue Atlas cedar, so I'm gonna have to get some replacements over here in this bed. Uh-oh, big bird going through. Echo Pup saw it. Anchor vultures, bud. They're not a threat. Good boy. Oh, we got another. I see him. Alright, pup, he's got some distance. But one tree that is doing good down here is the Cleveland pear. Look at the blooms on this guy. Or girl. Or guy. I don't think it has fruit. But it has a nice tight upright shape and it's perfect for this location. Come, pup. I hear ya. I hear ya. Alright, quit talking to the neighborhood. At the base of that, we have a Shasta daisy we want to clean up. We have some irises behind that coming up. And I just want to go through and do a general spring cleanup so it's ready for fresh mulch. So I'm going to get to work on this, and if I have enough time today, I'm going to head down into the vegetable garden, and I want to expand the pumpkin patch a little bit. Pup, but we'll see how things go. We have been getting longer days. Mountain balls. I think she was yelling at Clark for getting on one of the girls. Those are Duke's girls. But down here in the vegetable garden, we're gonna have a lot of work to do. Pup, we got the fresh mulch down on the pathways, but I did just get a jug of poison. It's actually safe for people and pets, and I'm gonna try and use it on the pathways here in the vegetable garden, because this is just ridiculous. We have a bunch of thistle coming up, and all these have needles on them. So I'm not going to be pulling all these weeds out, and I'm not ready yet to put fabric down in the pathways. So I'm going to try that spruce weed killer stuff and see if it works. I just think today might be a little bit too windy to use it. What are you doing, Rooster? Stay inside. But you can see we have some peas and lettuce coming up here on the edge of the bed. And we also have the onions coming up in the 2 rows that we planted, which is really nice to see. I was kind of late getting the onions in too, so I'm happy to see those come up. And I just put the garlic there right in the middle. I just did 1 bulb because I knew I was so late in the season. I'm not even sure if any of it's going to come up. So instead of wasting it, it was already good to eat in the kitchen. So I just wanted to use 1 bulb out here to see what happens. And that wet spot there is where I put the garlic. So I'm just going to have to wait a little bit and we'll see if it even comes up. The peas are looking good though. Almost ready to get on the trellis. And to keep the weeds from coming up in the pumpkin patch, I did end up throwing a tarp across the majority of the patch here. But to expand the patch, what I want to do is take this trellis off the pipes. Those pipes are a little bit too far in the ground for me to pull those out, so I'm just going to leave those in. They won't really be in the way if I can get that trellis off of them. And then we have to get this fabric ripped out of here too, and we'll have a good 3 feet extra here to the pumpkin patch, all the way down, probably about 30 feet long. Oh, and this is the first I'm seeing of it, but this is the first asparagus that just popped up. Is that a little one or is that a stem? Oh, we have some more coming up. Look at that head right there. That's cool to see. I was thinking they were supposed to be coming up here soon. The weather's been cold though. But we have one that's actually ready to eat. It actually kind of looks like it was up yesterday and it took the frost. That's unfortunate. I think it missed its prime. If you're wondering what the ground cover is in this bed, I am too. It's a weed. It's really not supposed to be here, but it came with the clumps of asparagus roots that we transplanted in here, and so we're kind of just stuck with it. But this stuff doesn't get too tall too quickly, so we're still able to pick out the asparagus shoots during asparagus season. And it looks like we're just coming into it. That's good. My diet could use some fiber. Pup, you getting some too? You eating that fescue? But the J-bed here is where we're going to be putting the cabbage plants, and it's almost ready. We have it filled up with the compost that I got from a friend. He has goats, so he gave me a big pile of goat poo. It was more composted down than any of the compost I had, so I went and used it here and on the pumpkin patch and a few other places around here. But I wanted to fill this bed up a little bit because I want to get some better soil to plant into, and I just want to get a top dressing. And the top dressing is going to be perfect for the young roots, and then everything else below here is going to be perfect for everything to reach into and get some more nutrients. So before we plant the cabbage, I will need to go to the store and get some bag soil to get a nice top dressing on here. But it looks like my perennial fennel's already coming up, and that ended up becoming a perennial in the garden here. I could try and rip it out, but I think this year I'm just going to try and manage it a little bit better because it kind of took over this bed last year. And it's not a bad one to have around when you want some plant diversity and some pest control. Black flies, for one, love fennel, and if they're loving on fennel, that means they're not bothering my other plants. Pup. So let's go ahead and get started in the side garden and see what we can get done. Pup. Thanks, Bert. Alright, I think things are looking a lot cleaner in here. I know the garden is still a little bit messy here with all the weeds coming up, but perfection is not my goal. I just enjoy being surrounded by life in the gardens. And if it can all look nice, that's just a bonus. But I got all the debris cleaned out of here, and I got the perennials pruned back for all the perennials to start coming up again. Just need to straighten out some of these solar lights here. It looks like I lost my mushroom solar lights. But I still have the sunflowers and the twinkle lights you guys just sent in. I do like having solar lights in this garden. Pop, you ready to move on? Get some more things done? Okay. We can put this away. We gotta take a quick break here for dinner. Pop. Meatloaf and mozzarella, baked potato, some sauerkraut, and some sausage balls. Pop. Alright, well, nothing crazy today, but we did make some progress here. I will have to bring in some compost to cover up this new layer of soil. I don't think I'm going to run the tiller here. I probably will lay some compost down first, and then if I have to, I'll run the tiller to break it up, but I'm not going to be opening up this soil here. And I would like to find something I can use as an edging here to separate the patch from the walkway and the wood chips. Then I can get this area filled in and square up the patch. Pop, but the sun's already went down. It's about time to go close the barn. Birds. Everybody's close to the ramp. They're getting ready to go in. But alright, that's going to be all for this one. Another day puttering around the gardens. If you want to keep following along with everything here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Good boy. It's getting cold, Pop.